February 1993. Wintertime. Back in the day. Winter here is almost over. Well, we're heading towards the end of March. Pretty soon all of this is going to get shaved. Except the eyebrows, of course. Looking forward to that. But now we're talking about February 1993 and the just four books that I read back then. The first one was the Further Adventures of Batman Volume 3, featuring Catwoman, edited by Martin H. Greenberg, and I happen to have a copy of that right here. Of course, they did these. There's one with the Penguin as well, because the second Tim Burton Batman movie came out and had the Penguin and Catwoman in it. So you got to cash in on that stuff. So they put these books out. But this is good stuff if you're a fan of Batman, Catwoman, the DC characters. And you've got authors like Mort Castle, Ed Gorman, Will Murray, Jeff Roven, Kristen Catherine Rush, Paul Kupperberg. A lot of great authors in here. My copy is a little beat up, but it's good stuff. Next up, Flight into Fear by Kenneth Robison, however you say it. It's Doc Savage book. The Kremlin has marked Doc Savage for death. So, he's traveling around the world, fighting bad guys. There's a female assassin called the Red Widow that is after him. And this is one of the books that's relatively recently been reprinted in the new Wild Adventures of Doc Savage series that has reprints of old stuff, some brand new stuff, and apparently this new edition has 4 more chapters. I don't have a copy of it, but I think I'm going to grab one relatively soon. Read those 4 other chapters, but I wonder how they meld, how well they blend in with the rest of the story, since they're, I assume, written by someone else and not like found chapters. Anyway, Doc Savage, always fun pulp stuff. Then we have Stardust by Robert B. Parker. I've talked about this before. There's this bitchy TV personality who has a stalker and is hired by, or maybe the production company, someone hires Spencer to protect her, and Spencer can't stand her, but he does his job. He's a stand-up guy. So that's a Spencer book. You know it's going to be good. If it's an original Robert B. Parker, excuse me. I have not read any of the books post Robert B. Parker, so I can't say if they're good or not. But the fourth and final book that I read in February of 1993 is Pastime by Robert B. Parker. Spencer book. According to Amazon, these are numbers 17 and 18 in the series. Pastime's a nice one because it features the return of Paul Giacomin, who first appears in my favorite of the Spencer books, Early Autumn. In that book, Spencer basically saved the kid from a horrible family life, taught him to stand up for himself, be a man. And he went off to dance school. And now in this, Paul comes back and basically hires Spencer because his mother has disappeared. But as I said, Early Autumn, my absolute favorite of the Spencer books. So it was nice to see that character of Paul return and go from a really shitty kid to a good young man. A decent, smart, hardworking young man. I always love the character growth in the Spencer books. So pretty much any of Robert B. Parker's books. But that's it. That is all that I read in February of 1993. How is this for a question for this video? How do you feel about themed anthologies? I don't remember if I've asked this before. It's all the rage. Just recently, I got an Alien vs. Predator anthology of short stories. So obviously, all of those stories are about xenomorphs versus Yautja, or however you say it. Aliens versus Predators. And then, of course, something like this, which is why I asked the question. All of these stories feature Catwoman in some way. And obviously, these are very specific. The Alien versus Predator one, this Further Adventures of Batman featuring Catwoman. There are less specific yet still themed. It might be all vampire stories or all zombie stories. I'm currently reading, you know what? I'm going to reach over here and show you, even though you'll see a review of this eventually. Currently reading Slasher, an anthology of women in horror. They're all female stories, all female main characters so far. I assume they're all going to be. You can see how far I am in the book. So, what are your feelings? Do you care about it? I'm not going to buy every themed anthology there is. I buy the ones that interest me. And, as long as I get good stories, and of course, almost any anthology is going to have its ups and downs. But, yeah, I kind of like it. I dig it. That's why I have the Alien versus Predator. I'm a fan of those characters. I'm a fan when they're put together in the right way. So I want that. I have an Alien anthology. I have a Predator anthology. I have a Planet of the Apes anthology. Chud anthology. So obviously I'm a fan of that sort of thing. Give me something I like, and I want more. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. If you care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is ErikSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That is all I have for you this week. So until next week, read more books.